I'm so excited, and I have no. I know what your plan is, but I have no ideas um, about what I know what I'm excited by. Like I don't know. Like I know at some point we're gonna have to like look for places or whatever, but I'm like I have no idea, which is good. And like maybe people chat. I don't know. Anyway, I'm really excited. That's all.
Yeah,
And
I
then
don't have like much of a plan for what I know what I'm going to talk
I
about
know
today,
what your
but
plan
then
is, but I have no ideas. Um, all right, we're streaming. I'm gonna go back to recording in progress. I'm gonna close. Sorry, I'm looking in the chat. There are only two media companies, and one of them is Taco Bell. That's hilarious. I don't know what that's about. All right. Um, uh, sorry, let's see. There we go. Okay, great. We're starting. So, Alabaster, welcome. I'm going to screen share and just do some welcomes, and then we'll start. Okay, let me see if I can remember how to do that. If I take 1 week off, I forget all of it. But I think I've got it sort of planned out. Hide thumbnails. Welcome, everybody. Okay, it's Friday night or Friday afternoon, and or it's Saturday morning for some of you because we get some people from Australia. And anyway, we believe in comics. It's a Friday night workshop. Welcome, everybody. It's the Sequential Artists Workshop. We're a nonprofit. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, and I've been doing taxes all week, so I'm really in the weeds with that. Anyway, you can find us at learn.sawcomics.org. And welcome if it's your first time. If it's not, that's cool too. It's all cool. Some things we have coming up. We have a big 6-month graphic novel intensive coming up. If you want some help getting your graphic novel done, June through November is when we do it here at Saw, and it's still open. You can find that at learn.sawcomics.org. Next week, Finn McCabe, he will be coming from Australia, so it's Saturday morning for him, but Friday night for us still. He'll be joining us, and I forget his topic, but it'll be fun. Okay, and also you can still join in on a 4-week course called Intro to Comics. That starts. It might start tomorrow, but I think no, it starts next week. Sorry, and that's Saturday mornings, 4 weeks. Anyway, what we do tonight, you can share it with the hashtag Friday Night Comics, and you can tag us at Comics Workshop. And I'll put Alabaster's in the chat, but it's at Alabaster Pizzo, but I'll put that in the chat too. And you can also share things at members.sawcomics.org. You'll see lots of people doing that there. And I want to thank everybody for donating, for helping support these free workshops. It really helps when you donate. It helps us pay the artists and stuff like that. And there are lots of ways to do that. You can go to learn.sawcomics.org. Also, you can become a sustaining member. We love that. Yay. Okay, let's get started. No trolling or hate speech. Keep it PG-13 because sometimes we have kids in the room and it's awesome. And maybe Ava will join us again. Is that her name? I forget. Maybe at the end we'll see. Anyway, no inappropriate, speech or imagery. Enjoy. And here's Alabaster. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Alabaster, I'm so excited. Thank you for being here. Thank you just for being brilliant. If I can figure out how to stop sharing, I will do that. There. I think I did it. There we go. Okay, I'm going to spotlight you, which makes everybody see you front and center. And you just tell me anytime you need me, but mostly I'm going to be in the chat, sort of like summarizing what you're saying so that people who like to read have that available. Sound good?
Okay, yes. Should I share my screen?
You can tell us who you are and what books we should buy of yours if you like. Oh, and you can do whatever.
Okay, my name is Alabaster. I'm a cartoonist. I live in Los Angeles, but I'm from New York City. I'm gonna talk today about how I use reference to do the backgrounds for my comics. It's a pretty good trick, I think. The internet has so much reference for us that we really never need to like go out and take reference photos, especially the last comic that I worked on that I'm going to show you. I did during the pandemic, so I couldn't even like really go out anywhere and take photos. So yeah, I guess I will share my screen. Oh, that's this button on the bottom, I think. Am I doing it?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
So I will start just with showing you, this is the comic that I am talking about. So it takes place in the future, 20 years in the future in Amsterdam. and I wrote it barely leaving the house in Los Angeles. So here's some like establishing shots. The two characters meet up. And then they go for a walk through a neighborhood there called De Pipe. So yeah, as you could see, they're walking, they're chatting. So how I did the reference for these was I just picked a spot on Google Street View. As you could see here, I was able to find this again. That's this corner where this bridge goes over this canal. And I didn't trace it, but I just copied it. And you can get tons of angles. You could, look up, look down a little bit, move across the street. It really helps with like scale and specifics that are really important. I really wanted to make sure that the scenes looked like they were in Amsterdam. And actually, I got a lot of messages from people asking me how long I've lived there, and I don't. So certain things like the piles of bikes are everywhere. I didn't put that in here, but like the hooks on these windows everywhere. I also didn't draw that in here, but I did in some other places. And then because of the future, I put like solar panels on everything and wind powered turbines. And then I have them go to a restaurant that I actually just found by like walking through the streets there. And I was like, all right, well, looks like a cute place. And I didn't write any of this down, but I was able to find it again by I remembered it was a pizza place. So I looked it up. It's called Pizza Beppe. So I could show you. And there were, I think, a few locations, but. So yeah, it was this one. So we could just drop ourselves in front of that. Was it this one? No, it was not this one. I wrote down it's on Nassau Cotta. So yeah, that's the front of the pizzeria that I used with those windows on the top. And that's some of the outside. And then I have them go later to a supermarket to get some beer. And that was called, I wrote that down too, Supermarket Royal XL Night Shop.
That's hilarious.
Which I can't believe I was able to find these again. But I think I just really remembered Supermarket XL Night Shop.
Now tell me, were these were close by each other too, right?
Yes, I tried to make it so it's like they could, after you go to the restaurant, then they go and to this little supermarket. And that's this supermarket here. Probably get them next to each other. And then the great thing about any business is if you like click on their, like people upload, I don't know why people do this. There's like 35 photos of this deli. So there's inside photos and you could actually like turn around in 360. And this, like everyone's been in a convenience store like this, but there's always like specifics that you might forget when you're drawing it, like these fruit stands or things that are specific to like a region that you might not know, like a convenience store in New York looks different from a convenience store in LA. They have like different things in them. So it's super handy to just like, I don't know why someone took this photo, but I'm glad they did because I'm like, oh yeah, the Kinder eggs and muffins and this weird ice cream thing I should put there. There's like really no reason to ever have to struggle to make up a store or a restaurant or anything. So I use this a lot. I like to draw from photos and I like to draw things like kind of realistic backgrounds. Sometimes they're like, these are pretty detailed, but sometimes I make them just a little bit like more graphic, but it still like, I think helps to have the reference. Another thing I will do, I had them walk through this part of Amsterdam, and there's this big park here, Vondel Park. So I didn't wind up doing this, but like, for instance, you could just look up like Vondel Park and people tag photos on Instagram there. So if you're looking for like an establishing shot or, you know, and something, and you don't feel like going there or making it up, you could just, you know, pick a nice one. This one doesn't even have any likes on it, but this person, this reference photo for you. And then, yeah, like specifics, like what does the gate look like in this place? I think it just helps flesh out a world. So yeah, that's what my workshop is today. We're all gonna do a 2 to 4 panel comic that takes place somewhere that you either don't live or have never been. Probably this would work better in a city where you can get like the street view, but I think a lot of places, even just out in nature, have like plenty of like you could drop yourself onto those little spots that have the like people will upload like 360s. So yeah, pick a city, drop yourself in a neighborhood.
I wonder if now would be a good time for people in the chat maybe to brainstorm.
Oh, let me okay,
look,
I'm gonna undo my screen share so I
Sure.
could open that back up. Okay.
Yeah, like maybe people want to in the chat throw some ideas out because I'm drawing a blank. The world is so big. You've expanded my world already by saying, wait, I could set a comic in Amsterdam and make it that, you know, great. So people are putting Sao Paulo, Grand Canyon.
Yeah, Grand Canyon is another one that like you think you know what it looks like, but then like there's super specific things. And I had before I went there, I didn't realize it was as big as it was until I showed up.
Somebody's asking if you've ever been to Amsterdam.
I have been to Amsterdam. I spent 6 days there.
Before the comic or after the comic?
Before the comic. Yeah, I went for a film festival. And I really liked it a lot. I would like to go back. I've been teaching myself to speak Dutch since I do this comic because I had to look some things up. And I started doing Duolingo, and they really don't let you stop when you start.
How long's your streak?
It's insane. It's like 700 something days.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
college campus, yeah, that'll be good.
Nikki is asking me to do Doubtless Bay, New Zealand. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that place. So what do you think? Should we take like 5 minutes and like research a place and then come back and then we can talk about what kind of comic we're going to make?
Yeah.
Okay.
I should do that too.
Oh, I'd love it if you were to.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do one.
Okay.
I have an idea for a place, but I haven't looked into it. So I'm coming fresh to it too.
Okay. So how long should we do that for? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, probably, maybe something like that, where we.
Yeah, find a good city, street, or monument or something where you might be able to get a lot of photos. If it's, I don't know, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, there's probably millions of photos of it on Instagram, photos of it on actually Yelp reviews of like the wonders of the world are really funny also. So.
And you recommend it be a place we've never been to?
Yeah, why not? Try to see if you can get in just a few moments, like what is like the general like vernacular of the architecture of the place, like windows, streets, church steeples. Are there trees? Are there not trees? Are there lots of advertisements? Are there, you know, yeah, I'm looking at
all right, I need to find. So cool. So it's 14 after. So maybe at 23 after or something, we come back and then we spend the next 15 minutes drawing after that or something. And do you recommend, because you did it in your comic, do you recommend an exterior and an interior?
Oh, well, what I did first, which I didn't mention, I found an apartment to rent in the neighborhood that I liked in Amsterdam, which had 7 or 8 photos of the living room, the kitchen, everything that I needed to like draw the characters in the place. And then I just walked from that address to the address of another apartment.
Oh, that's amazing. So let's recommend that too, right? Like, what did you use to just like Craigslist? Do they have Craigslist in Amsterdam?
They have something like that, but I just typed in like apartment to rent Amsterdam with a, the name of the neighborhood that I liked because I had been there. But yeah, sometimes you have to like get creative and type it in the language of the the place that you're going to. But or even an Airbnb or whatever apartment rent, vacation rentals, things like that. You'll find, tons of photos.
Yeah, somebody is
I don't the copyright, someone's saying something about copyright. I don't know. I mean, if you're I'm using them as reference, like I'm never really drawing things and people like super specifically, and I try to find like I'm not looking for like the some famous photographer has taken a photo of this park and I'm using that photo. Even then I feel like it's not that big a deal to do that, but I mean the photo that I pulled up just now of that park had no likes on it. So, no offense to that person, but
all right.
probably it's fine.
All
Yeah,
right.
and then that's for like drawing an actual small business, and would they be mad about that? I don't know. Yeah, that's a good idea. Go find like your dream mansion. That was what I did. I was really picky about the apartments that I picked, even though they were just made up. Like I could have just made it up. Like I really wanted to pick an apartment that I would have wanted to live in 20 years. So yeah, I shopped around a bit until I found what I liked for the
So
comment.
what's the place you're going to research right now? And
I
as you
think
can you share your screen as you research it? Some of the
sure. Yeah, actually that's a good idea. I think I'm gonna pick Ragusa, Sicily, which is where my family is from.
Wow,
And
that's so
I've
cool.
never been there. My sister went, and my sister found some like long lost cousins while she was there. So yeah, and I don't know anything about that city really. All right. Let me share my screen again.
Meanwhile, I'm searching where our friend Nikki is calling from in New Zealand. Oh. So we should be taking screenshots and maybe doodling.
Yeah, I wind up I don't take a lot of screenshots. Or probably I don't have a lot of the reference that I used for this comment because I'll just have it up and then I just kind of close the screen once I'm done. I'm a kind of a disorganized person. I told this story in the last call that I did with you. I lost where I was at one point and I was drawing something in front of a sculpture next to a canal. And I had to like do a general call for people who live in Amsterdam to tell me where it was so I could find it again and pick up where I was. And I tried to find that again in the map and I couldn't.
But people came through, right?
The first time, yeah, I decided not to ask again. But yeah, that's the good thing, I guess, about like knowing, having an audience around the world is someone knows. Okay, so I'm zooming in here where I see like it's kind of yellow, which makes me think that that's like the historic kind of downtown part of the city. So there might be some like really beautiful buildings. Let's see. Drop myself right here.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
So I have not been to Sicily, but in my imagination, it's very hilly. Lots of these kind of 2 and 3 story, like very old buildings that with little balconies, and everything needs a coat of paint. Little cars, narrow streets. I I say all over Europe, I think they have these the street lights are like strung on wire in between the streets. I've seen that a lot. We don't have that in the US because our streets are too wide. Yeah, cobblestone. Let me find like where's like a restaurant I would want to eat at.
And this is where your family's from.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
One side. Ooh. Maybe I could put myself in like a town square. That might give me like a good intersection, maybe. Oh, maybe in front of this bar. Oh, cat. It's also good for like populating the background with like incidental characters. They're real people. They're not incidental characters, but oh my God, these streets are so teeny. Oh, there's the cat again. Okay, this street is too narrow. This looks like big roundabout. Ooh,
Oh,
that's cool. That's a nice building.
I don't know if everybody is having the experience I'm having, but like the idea of doing a 3 or 4 panel comic is really daunting because I'm having so much fun investigating. So I sort of feel like I'm going to get one interior, one exterior, and that's all I can hope for.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, an interior is a good idea. I'm going to look now for apartment to rent review.
I should.
And then I'm going to cry about how cheap they are. Let's see.
And how you get Google Street View is you drag that little person down to the street, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, this one has a balcony. Ooh,
400 euros a month. Ah,
wow. 18 photos. Oh my God.
oh my God.
It's a catacomb. Oh, wow.
And oh my gosh.
The bidet. There's just rock. This is just rock in here with a tile around it. Wow. I might draw this balcony with this behind. This is a little bit grainy, but it might hopefully give me the address. This one, I don't know if it has the address, but it does have the neighborhood. Oh, that's the general area. Okay. Well, yeah, I think I'm gonna draw that balcony. And then maybe I'll do a street shot also. So this is grainy, but you get the general sense of like what the city looks like, the surrounding nature looks like, even like the way the clouds look in certain places is specific to a place sometimes. Like in LA, we like don't really have clouds. It's just like either a blue sky or a brown sky.
It's amazing, like just thinking like, wow, there could be a great conversation happening on that balcony, overlooking that hill, that city on the hill, underneath those flat clouds.
should I start drawing?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. You're gonna draw on a computer or on paper?
I'm gonna just do it on paper, I think, and then I'll just, I don't usually do that. I do most of my sketches digitally, and then I print them and I trace them on a light box. But that's a lot of steps. Can I still see the chat? Oh, I can.
I'm doing this fish and chips shop that I did not expect to be in, but in the amount of time you have, you just got to go with what you have, right?
Someone asked for any recs for Quebec City. That would be like a good way to put it too. If you want to do a comic that takes place somewhere, you could like maybe like ask people who live there where would be a good place to, like where would this person like maybe live or vacation if they were in this place, or where would they go to eat? Yeah, there might be places you aren't allowed to look. So there are limits. There definitely are limits to this. And my friend told me yesterday, I didn't know this. I haven't tried it yet. You can go back in time on Google Street View, like where it says the date that it usually says like July 2016 or whatever from the most recent time that photo was taken. But you could, I think, click on that and go back in time to previous street views, which I had no idea you could do that. And she told me that yesterday. We were like in the car and I was like, I'm going to use that now. Definitely. Like if I have to do a comic about something that took place like while I was in college, did they have that in 2010? Maybe. Oh, you can't do Cuba.
Oh, wow. Huh.
But yeah, the time travel thing is, especially because right now I noticed as I was looking for those places again, a lot of the most recent street views have the like the outdoor COVID seating of them, which blocks the front and also like would definitely set you in like 2020. So that would be handy to go back to before it.
The detail is so specific that like I'm drawing this fish and chips shop. Like I want to get the exact type of bowl and plates and forks that they use. I'm rarely that detailed.
I know
So,
you start to ask yourself, like, why does this matter? But I mean, you have to draw some bowls and
mhm.
cups, so why not just copy the ones that are there? Oh my God, this is all tiny little buildings.
Aaron says Germany was oddly limited. Huh. Wonder why.
Also a good way to learn about somewhere you've never been. Small towns in Poland sounds cool.
Oh. Got it. Kind of depressing, they say. Incredible murals in Montreal. That was a little chat about Germany. So clearly some people know about the laws there.
Oh, is it like a privacy thing, maybe?
Mhm.
This reminds me of doing hourly comics day, and you're like fighting the clock to get the next hour.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, probably a small town in Lithuania might not have the interiors, but you could maybe try, like, they don't have the 360. There still might be like people who've gone, if you click on like the information for that place, there might still be like a couple of photos of the insides. Maybe not, but I'm surprised all the time that like somewhere out in the middle of nowhere has, 5 Yelp reviews or something, and people photograph it and post it. think I'm gonna try to go to this neighborhood now. How do I do
Did you
that?
draw something already?
Yeah, I did the that balcony.
Can you hold it up for us?
I have to erase some of the
All right.
line. I'm waiting for it to dry, the ink. Oh, I guess I did.
It's okay. You can show when you're not screen sharing too. Might be easier.
Yeah.
Jen Wilson says, "Well, I regret to inform you all that the Elvis is Alive Museum in Missouri no longer exists." You know, there's this thing that people use too lately that I've been hearing about called Map Crunch. It just pulls up a random
App
place.
crunch.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. It probably too late for people to really get on it, but let's say Map Crunch.
I haven't even heard of that.
It does a random street view. So for instance, I just typed it in, it gave me a town in Denmark. I'll put it in the chat right now though, in case.
That's cool. I like that.
Oh, you'd like this place. This looks like right up your alley.
Park sounds awesome.
And GeoGuessr. I haven't seen GeoGuessr, but maybe it is similar. It plops you down and you have to guess where you are, people say. This one definitely has told me that I'm in a town called Kerbenhaven in Denmark. And yeah, wow. Nice bicycles, rose bushes, small cars, and cobblestone streets. And an Italian flag. What's there? Let's go. Anyway, I'm all distracted, but this is so fun.
There's a community of people. This is a little bit darker, but they can take like grainy photos of like crime scenes and like war crimes and stuff happening, and they could, using Google Maps, find out where it is.
Whoa.
And they've like cracked the case on like a lot of like international like trafficking and like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's crazy. Look out other people's windows. I don't remember that. Okay, so that apartment was kind of here. I like these plants.
It's funny how much is automated now, probably. For a while, I think it was somebody's job to like blur out faces and blur out license plate numbers and stuff. And now I'm sure all that's automated.
Yeah, I think I've seen like ads with people's faces and they'll also be blurred. So I'm assuming that it's
Oh,
just
wow.
like an AI thing that is detecting them.
Yeah. Huh.
The street is so narrow, it's like hard for me to even get through it.
I'm glad you brought up the clouds. Like I wasn't even really thinking about the clouds. And now I look at this picture and like there's clouds all over it.
Yeah, well, now that I live in a place with like not a lot of weather, I realize every time I go somewhere else, I'm like, oh, there's like clouds here. I seem to be stuck. I go back up here. Yeah, it rains so much this winter here. And now it's hot again. Okay, I'm stuck in this alleyway. Let me fix something else. Yeah, I think I'll just do this.
And it really impossible to like, all right, you have to draw all this stuff and like invent a character or something, you know?
I'm just drawing like myself taking a selfie on this balcony. Decided not to
Not to make it challenging.
complicate it. Yeah.
So it's getting to the time where usually we start to wind down. Maybe
Okay.
maybe I can just remind people, make an interior drawing if you can, definitely make an exterior drawing. And we've got some time for some people to share if they want to start thinking about it, but we also definitely want to see what you've done, Alabaster. And you don't have to rush, I'm not rushing you, but because did you do an interior? No, your balcony was sort of your interior.
Yeah, I'm doing the balcony shot and then I'm doing a street shot. So I use like a real estate photo and a Google Street photo.
That catacomb apartment, though, I hope you do something with that place.
I
I
want to go to it.
hope you saved
I should, yeah.
the location. Nikki's asking, the real Cuban dude's coffee van is so cool. Yeah, actually, Nikki, that is definitely the actual location. I haven't even seen that place. It's pretty new. So that's the correct new Saw building. There's also a coffee. It's like a giant Italian espresso maker, coffee, coffee building. Anyway, so yeah, that's
Shaped like the whole building is shaped like a coffee maker.
it's a very small building. Like one person can fit inside it and make espresso, but yeah, it's shaped like a little espresso maker. So Nikki's asking for that. And Nikki, just so you know, I have drawn the Manganui fish shop in the town you were asking about in New Zealand. So I'll at least post that on the internet, if not
You should tag them too. I'm sure they would love that.
Oh yeah, of course. It's a really lousy drawing. I'm like trying to rush through this. I'm trying to monitor the chat, trying to think about what these
Yeah,
characters.
this isn't my best drawing ever either.
But it's really a lot of fun. Oh, look at the clouds in your Italian picture. It's really interesting
I
too.
don't even do that.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the climate of LA and Italy are fairly similar, like Mediterranean, dry, but not 100% desert.
Oh.
This weird lamp. These like big, everything's made of these big slabs of like limestone, I guess. I'm not quite sure what it is. I should know more about this place.
But this is how you start, right? You start to get curious about the details and then you can go a little bit farther.
Yeah, maybe this will finally get me to go here. My relatives own a bakery here that makes this specific kind of like folded over pizza called scotcha.
Hmm.
They were the ones to like invent that pastry. Never had it.
They invented the pastry.
Yeah. they were in like an article in Eater magazine or something for it. My sister went, but I have not been. Also, my mom's maiden name is like a made up last name that's only about 120 years old. So anyone with that name is like a cousin.
Oh, wow.
So just like looked people up on Facebook with the name and met up with them while she was there.
Also Italian, both sides then?
Yeah. Yep. FBI. Full-blooded.
So
okay. Yeah, I think I got some stuff.
yeah, why don't you maybe like click down the screen sharing, show us what you got, and we'll also take some raised hands and see if other people want to share.
Screen share, stop screen share. Okay. So yeah, well now I want to keep filling in my sunglasses. So I did a selfie on the balcony, and then actually I was gonna draw myself walking down the street, and then I forgot. It's a POV shot.
Oh,
Thinking of going to get gelato or scotcha in this.
right. Oh, so great.
So normally I would finish this more than this, but I think like you got the basic.
Oh, that
Sometimes just the knowing what the place looks like gives you the idea to simplify it in a way that works for you, but still like is specific to spot.
I'll show mine really fast. It's quite embarrassing because it's so incredibly crude but let's see. And then that'll give a chance for people to raise some hands.
So
but
yeah, the people with the hands. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. So like, and also I mostly want to show Nikki because apparently this is, but so I started with the interior, which is, that's the Manganui.
That's so cool.
Fish shop. And I had to have a drama. So he's saying, you're leaving me for that hussy, but there are all these hills and boats and, and stuff and the fish shop. Anyway, but so then they're leaving, the other two are leaving together, and that's him all alone. He says, I guess I'll always be alone. But that's sort of what the beach road looks like. It was so great. So Nikki, you can tell me if I got that right or if you
no, that's brilliant. That's actually the main road going up from the village. So and that's perfect. I'll send you some photos, Tom, of those locations.
I was just looking at photos of that location.
Oh yeah, true. Oh, that's so cool. Thanks. That's the hoot.
All right. Well, great. So we will we'll go with Marlene next, and then Susan and Cheryl.
Okay, I see the names in the hand.
I'm gonna replace Spotlight, and Marlene can show us. Can you unmute Marlene? Let me see if I.
I'm on, I think. Is it?
Tom? Yeah, we hear you now.
Okay. Very interesting, actually, what's happening. I started with the interior of my shot. I'm going to Tokyo, where I've never been, and I'm inside a capsule.
The Capsule Motel?
The capsule motel in the back parts of the city, because I don't have much money. So I booked in, and as you can see, walking to the capsule, there's an arrow showing that I'm in 417. Inside the capsule is just like a little pigeonhole where I can sleep. I've been given a card to swipe, and inside the capsule I can put my mobile phone, and next to that is a facility to charge my mobile phone. The next one is where I'm actually waking up at midnight and doing my work on my laptop. As you can see, sitting against the wall, my feet barely, get across the bed. There's a sprinkler on the top, which gives me a bit of security and safety. Again, you can see the two little boxes one where I can charge whatever I need to charge, and the other one for my mobile phone. I've got on my earplugs and my earphones, and towards the opening is a shutter that you can pull down. The next one, let's try and put it properly. It's midnight, and I can hear what's going on in the next room.
I'm sure, yeah.
Question was, don't eat cheese for obvious reasons, because there were bubbles going in the wrong direction. The next one is the outside of the capsule, where you can see my room number. There's like a handle you pull to get it open. It's crib number 417, as I've said before. And on the outside is where you insert your card. There's a QR code. And at the bottom is your locker. You can get a key to get your bag full of goodies, pajamas to sleep in, toothpaste, toothbrush, face wash, and moisturizer. And then finally, from the rooftop, I could see the tower in Tokyo. On the top of this capsule motel is a swimming pool heated by solar panels. There's the Tower of Tokyo and the clock face tower in the center of the city. And so if you wanted to sun yourself on the rooftop, you could. And so this is my make-believe comic for the day.
Wow, I didn't even think of sprinkler. I guess that's a good thing to have in there, but I would not, that's like the last thing that I would ever want to experience is a fire in a capsule motel.
Thank you.
Jeez. Thanks.
Awesome. All right, we'll go to Susan next. Thanks, Marlene.
Hi, folks. This was so much fun. So my comic is fairly simple, but I thought I'd show you the photos that I chose, and was just having a chat with a friend the other day about Iceland. So this is Reykjavik, and that there is an apartment available in that house, in that building. So my comic is really probably the simplest way you could do it. It's kind of a travelogue. So we've just arrived yesterday on the boat, and then the first stop is 4 beers, and then we go to our home sweet home.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's exactly what I would do if I was going to Reykjavik, probably.
This is so fun.
Yours
Thanks,
good.
Susan. All right, we're going to ask for Cheryl next. Here we go.
Mine is a little darker than yours. Ralph Yarl confused 115th Street with 115th Terrace and rang the wrong doorbell.
Yes, very, very topical map.
Yeah. Oh, is that actually the house where that happened?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, wow. That is dark. Wow, Cheryl. Intense.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Cheryl. We'll go to Ang next. Let's see. Ang and then Vic and then Nikki.
Hey y'all. I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation. I'm so sorry, but I decided to pick a place in Washington that Twin Peaks was filmed. It's called Snoqualmie, and I was kind of just going through it on maps, and I saw a skate park, and I was like, I want to do that because I'm learning to skate. So I made the little sign that says skate park. One thing I noticed that I really liked was like how green it was compared to LA. In suburban California, and we only have palm trees. So I made like a little comic about the skate park, and then like how like these two skaters are really amazed by how deep and how like vast the skate park is. Like they're like, it's like a canyon. There's like a little ramp there that I'm sure skaters probably go on and trip on. And And then here's the ramp again. There was like a barnyard next to it. And I wanted to put that as this person says, I'll give you $5 to jump into the canyon. And in true Twin Peaks fashion, I decided to have the person go into the skate park, and then there's a portal, and then the portal leads them to a catacombs that I was inspired by the French catacombs, the ones in France. So now they're stuck in this very scary place.
And now you could jump to another location and it's no problem.
Exactly.
My boyfriend's a skater. I'm sure he knows of that skate park, even though he's never been to it. He knows. I took him to New York and he didn't really know New York, but he knew like every staircase, like little staircase and railing. So yeah, skaters are very specific. You think it doesn't matter, but they know every little corner of cement on everything.
Awesome. Thanks, Anne.
Yeah.
We'll go to Vic next.
So I sort of just like moved the map around and just picked a place in the US. And I found this great place called Jacksonburg Station, which is like a mountain cabin in Gunnison, Colorado. And it's just like it's like sort of like wood panel wall, like college bed. So I took my original character, Jeremy, who's a rabbit, and I sort of did like a nighttime thing, and I'm saying, where are the pillows? They're just like bare beds.
It's real rustic, no pillows.
Yeah, but that's what I did.
Yeah. Is that one of those places where you go and like you watch for wildfires? They like pay you. I think there's like artist residencies where they'll stick you out there and they'll be like, just watch for fires and draw or whatever. I don't know if you applied to one.
It's
Yeah.
whole Jack Kerouac book about that kind of place.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks so much, Vic. We'll go to Nikki
you.
next. Let's see. Let's ask. Nikki, we can't hear you. Can you unmute?
Oh.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh.
So
Dudes.
over here, I should have a plane kind of flying in. So we've got real Cuban dudes. So lost. Where's Saw? So I go to my Google Maps. Ooh,
Oh.
here it is.
Oh, that's the.
Is that the old building?
It's the old building, but that's a prettier building to draw. So that's super. Cool.
That's
It's only
really
a couple blocks
funny.
away. Yeah.
That's really funny. And then I've got, oh, they're not open yet. Maybe I should have let them know it was coming. Oh, for those that don't know, I'm over in New Zealand, so I flew over. Happy birthday to me. They'll be so surprised when they find me here waiting for them to open up. What fun. And that's so ironic that I got the old building, so I'd be sitting there waiting for a very long time. That's a carry-on comic. That's classic. Thank you, everybody.
Oh,
Is it your birthday?
Yeah. Well, the 25th of July is my birthday, and that's when the Visionary course is going to be live at SOAR. And I've been thinking in the back of my head, wouldn't that be so fun if I had unlimited funds? I could just fly over and surprise you all and meet you all. And so this exercise just fitted in perfectly.
I'm writing
Yeah.
Nikki's birthday, July 25th.
Yes, may accidentally turn up if miracle funds suddenly appear at the wrong building.
Awesome, Nikki. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Gonna go to Christina next, then Jackie, then Ampy Do. Here we go.
Hey, so I went to Port Clyde, Maine, which is just as cute as it sounds.
I like Maine.
I decided to spend the day on Monhegan Island. The boat leaves from
Maine.
Port Clyde. I checked the schedule, 2 hours. I can't read that last little bit. Decided
To join the local color for coffee.
Yeah. They've got a lunch counter in there that's got a, like a live edge to the counter. It's just one giant slab of wood.
Mm-hmm. That sounds nice.
And
I've been
I've, and I've
Spain
been there a
anyway.
ton of times, but I would need to see the picture to know how it's laid out, you know.
Yeah, and if you don't have the photo, someone else took that photo for sure.
Right.
So yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome,
Thanks.
Christina. Thanks. Gonna go to Jackie next.
Some talk about going to Quebec City this summer. I don't, when I go to Maine for vacation, I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but I just picked, rando off of Airbnb and was like, all right, Third Avenue looks where it's all happening. So very crude, me walking down Third Avenue, looking for some coffee. And then this place I found on Yelp, Nectar Cafe. This place looks cool. Yeah.
Are you actually gonna go here now? To this cafe?
We might. We might. It depends what we have to work out some deets. But my mother-in-law brought it up. She always wanted to take my daughter and I there. So who knows?
It looks like a good cafe.
Yes, thank you.
And that street looks like, like a lot of fun things to do on it. So
Yeah,
I should get permission from these places.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time doing the research. I was not so much drawing, but this was fun.
Thank you.
To be sure.
Awesome, Jackie. Thank you. We're gonna go to Ampidoo, then Jeannie, then Jim. Let's see.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
I would just want to share the screen quickly to, if I may, Tom. I want to show the source image.
Sure. Give me 1 second.
Okay, thanks.
There you go. You're free to do that.
All right. So I found this underwater restaurant in the Maldives.
Ooh.
And that got me going. And I'll stop sharing now. And so this, I do a single panel piece. And it says, the Suntiku's underwater oatmeal was a bit runny, Leo discovered. So there's
Dinner and
Leo.
a show.
Dinner and a show. There's Leo. I think he's in trouble. So thank you. That was fun.
Was that an actual review of that restaurant?
Mine. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. And
the only review that
yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
The reviewer didn't really make it. So
Amazing. All right. Thanks, Ampidoo. We're gonna go to Jeannie.
Yay. Okay. So let's see. I chose, I don't know how to pronounce it. Can you see it? It's Luz. Unmute. Luz, Scotland. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
I don't know if
good.
that's how it's pronounced, but yes.
I don't either. So anyway, there's a map in it, and it's really close to Loch Lomond.
Mm-hmm.
So and so I went there, and which I've never been to. And then I was walking through the town, and there's the lake. And then I went to a cafe to have lunch. Yes.
Of course. do all the lots have a monster?
I don't know. I only know that one, which I guess probably is pretty famous. But this was fantastic. I had no idea how things were going to come together, but it was great. It was great. Thank you so much.
Awesome, Jeannie. Thanks. It's Jim. We haven't seen Jim in a while. We'll go to Jim, and then Amy, then Umi, then Chris.
All right. So can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
So I have never been to Scotland. I have family connections to Scotland and thought about the Robert Burns house. So I found a picture of the Robert Burns house.
Mm-hmm.
I found a picture of his writing desk and put him in there with his famous Ode to a Mouse, with a mouse complaining that it's not representative of that mouse's feelings.
I don't know that poem. I should know that.
Oh, well, I mean, that's the that's got the famous line in it about of mice and men, basically.
Oh, okay.
So at one point I memorized it, but I won't try to recite it now because it's kind of long.
Yeah. That looks great. Thank you.
Fun. Jim, nice to see you. Thanks.
Yep. See you
We're gonna go to Amy.
Thank you for this class. I was gonna share my screen for just a second to show you.
Hang on 1 second. Okay, there you go.
I don't know if you can see. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Oh, can you see it now?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you can look it up on Google Maps. My ancestors come from a place called Kalmykia, and I've never been. It's in Russia. It's colonized by Russia, and I don't think I'll ever go because there's a war now, and it's really poor. And yeah, so it was really nice to be able to like walk around. I kind of did like found some interesting streets. I assumed it was really poor and like a deserted steppe-land, but I was like surprised that there was like a lot of trees and yeah. I didn't finish though, so.
Oh.
But yeah, like interesting Soviet architecture and yeah, I saw a marketplace, and when I last Googled this a long time ago, there was nothing, and now there's so much. So it was kind of cool to like, yeah, look around. So thank you so much.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Really great. Thanks. And it's Umi over there next. I think it's Umi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi. Wow, I'm so impressed by like everybody's, and I wasn't really getting the idea of like a drawing on location. I thought like I should just go out, head to the beach, and then do something on location. and I also realized like I don't like traveling, so I don't know what, and I don't know what to make of it. And I am also well traveled for some reason. But one thing that I've avoided are the shrines or temples. And this is called, do you see? This is called Kiyomizu-dera. And you can see it's kind of phenomenon. I am still not impressed by this, but a lot of people says like, oh, stage fright as how do you call it? When you get the scariest moment before the stage, they say like, okay, jumping from the stage of the Kiyomizu-dera because it's so scary high. But you can see that there are a lot of people, and I don't like people. So I thought, well, if I go to that place with a cat, my cat, then probably I'm just going to wander around. How do you call it? Jizo, these like Buddha statues, like little ones with aprons. That kind of scares me. But my cat loves places like here. So I started from like, drawing little statues. But then I realized, okay, like I just keep doing this for a while. Then I thought, maybe, yeah, like where to put my cat. Like there's a grass and it's the same as the other temples. So I started with according to the photo. Then I realized, oh, I don't like this, what to do. So this is my finished one. So the cat loves the handrail, so she's having a happy moment while I'm like, nah. So that's my patient drawing. I'm sorry, like I'm terrible.
No, that's great. I'm kind of afraid of heights too, but that looks like a cool place to visit anyway.
Really fun. Thanks, Umi.
Thank you.
Awesome. We're going to go to Chris next.
Yeah, I chose looked up a little place, and I happened to come upon a rare bookstore, and I love rare books, and it's also next to a pub. And so I imagine being there with my son and then having to make a choice. Rare books or Guinness? Why not have both? So it was a nice thing to do.
I used to live near a bookstore and an ice cream store, and the bookstore said no ice cream in the bookstore, and then the ice cream store put up a sign that said no books in the ice cream store.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Chris. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Nina. Let's see if Nina's ready. Otherwise, we'll go to Cassie after that and then Ellen. There we go. Oops, no.
Oh, right.
Might have to lose that background. Also, we can't hear you, Nina.
I think you're muted. I think you're still muted.
Can you do it? Let me see if I can ask you to unmute if you haven't already.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
now we can.
so I made a book. I should turn off this background. I can't remember how to turn it off. But I made a story. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Let me change the background. I don't know how to do this. Okay. There you go. No, now it's blurring everything. Okay, there you go. So I made a book. I made a comic about in Shinjuku, Japan. So, this is like somewhat like an experience that I'm having currently. So I broke my glasses recently whilst driving. So like my inspiration, yeah, it was really bad. So like this is like one of the street that I randomly walked into. No, well, I didn't walk into, but like I went through Google Map. So this is like in Shinjuku. Like I think this was Shinjuku. And then I walked to Okubodori and I found like some glasses shop there. And then I stood there trying to figure out like, oh, am I actually at the right correct shop? So this is basically like, it's just like a panel like turning around. So this is the background of the shop. So it's like, oh, I think I need glasses. I can't see anything.
Yeah,
So,
that's a clever way to get the both angles. You could just pivot the camera.
So I kind of like turned it around. So this was like basically that's how I played with the panels. Yeah.
I guess you need glasses to buy glasses.
Yeah, basically. So I think this was just me like wandering around, like where am I? I don't know where am I.
Lucky that you found one.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Great.
Awesome. Thanks so much. I like that picture she drove you too.
Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go to Cassie, then Ellen, then Michael.
Hello. All right. So I did Zurich kind of randomly. I don't have any attachment to it or anything. I just chose it. It's not a comic because I just got real swept up in trying to.
I know, I forgot to also.
Yeah, I didn't have a concept. I was just like, I just want to do this. It was cool because I was trying out a couple of new techniques. I don't use a brush pen like ever, but I use that here and at the recommendation of another artist. And I also tried out this thing. Have y'all used water pens where it's like a brush filled with water?
Yes.
Okay, so I put some India ink in my water pens, and so I let me do like ink washes really easily. So
yeah, and quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, really great effect with that. I should try that.
Yeah. I got like a cheap set on a Chinese website, and so the different ones have different ink concentrations in them.
We have one request.
Different colors?
What's that?
Can you fill them with like different colors?
You could, if you had different colors of ink.
Yeah, that'd be a cool way to do like carrying watercolor with you.
Yeah.
Looks great. Someone says that they think that they have a photo of themselves and their dad on that bridge. So.
In Rosenhof Market?
This is pretty specific.
So.
That's Ina saying that, and I wouldn't put it past her. There's a lot of, Ina's got a lot of stories. So Ina, post that in the chat if you can. That's such a specific cafe, isn't it? That cafe, isn't that great?
Yes, they have like these very elaborate arches. It is called Spaghetti Factory.
That's fun.
in Rosenhof Market in Zurich, if anyone wants to go there.
Doesn't sound appetizing, but it looks good.
So here's the top one, and here is the bottom one. Yeah, I just wanted to compliment you, Alabaster, on how you're able to simplify a complex landscape really effectively. That was something that I found challenging.
It's definitely important to do because you don't want things to be too busy, I found.
Yeah, yeah. You want to be able to draw attention to the part you want people to focus on. And
yeah, hard to do.
Yeah, so had a great time doing this.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cassie. Alan is next. Let's see. There we go.
Okay, so I did what I usually did when I have to find something online to draw, which is spend way too much time trying to look for different things and finally end up using one of the very first things I found. So anyway, I'll just share the screen.
You should be able to now.
Yeah, I'll share. Well, first I'll share the pictures that I found, and then I just found some random, street view. Is it showing the right? Yes. Random street view in, basically a random coastal town in Norway. And then for the interior, this was actually one of the first street view things I went looking for all sorts of different things, ended up using this after all. And it turned out this building in the background here is a hotel. So I found the interior of that, and there's a picture of a meeting room in the hotel that I liked. So that's what I went with. So now let me unshare and share the different screen so I can share what I actually drew. And then for Norway, for the subject of the comic, I figured, I don't know, Norway, I thought of trolls, so what the heck. So I did not go with like a personal me exploring Norway. I did something kind of silly, but oh well. Yeah, welcome to this meeting of the Norwegian Troll Seekers Association. Before we begin, are there any urgent questions? Yes, hello, it's my first time, and I was just wondering, if we do find a troll, what do we do with it? I left out the do. Okay, I need to fix that typo. What do we do with it exactly? Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Why do you ask? Oh, no reason. So just the Norwegian
That's great.
troll seekers, apparently. All right, so that was my comic. All right.
Very good.
Awesome, Alan. Thank you.
Yeah.
Really fun. These are great. Thanks, Alabaster, for this. All right, we got a couple more. I think we can fit in. Michael, then Renee, then Michaela. So Michael, you'll have to come on. Let's see.
Can I share my screen?
You should be able to. Although, yeah.
Okay, I got my ADD kicked in, and I just got hung up on the details. Just
yeah,
I found an apartment in London, and that's as far as I got. I actually went to Budapest, Hungary first. Where some family's from. I didn't want to look at the Ukraine where the other part of my family's from because that's too sad. But then I was touring the streets of Budapest, and then I was like, no, the place I want to live most in the world is London. So I decided to go with the happy idea.
Nice.
The molding, you can draw molding forever. I always have to simplify it. It's always more complicated than you think it is. Even a simple, it's not a very complicated building, and then you're like, oh my goodness,
I did find a very complicated building, and I'm bad at geometry. I'm bad at perspective, so that's what happened. But this was fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. Okay, we will go to Renee. There we go. Oops, we can't hear you, even though you're unmuted.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. I also got caught up in finding the place. I found an Airbnb that was amazing, but then I was just too into the view from the balcony, and so I just kept going around
It's
town.
a good view.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then real quick, I have an 8-year-old here who wants to show his work, if that's okay.
Yeah, let's see.
Not quite on topic, but very exciting.
This is a comic that I made. It's dog
And dragon.
and the dragon. The dog thinks that the dragon is actually a Loch Ness, but it's actually a dragon, a water dragon, and then the dragon gets mad and throws breathes fire at it.
Oh no. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Okay, I think we're going to Michaela next.
Yeah. Oh, that was a great story. I tried to do a story too, but I don't think I can beat that. I don't know. Oh, it's gonna be hard to see it. Let me see if I can make this better. Oh, it's too light to see. I'm sorry about that. I can't.
Yeah, I don't ever know.
Tricky sometimes.
This is a little bit better, I guess. So the first two were these sort of landscapes that were bigger. It's about a suburb that my parents lived in, and I used to visit there and really hate it there. And it's in Wiesbaden, Germany, and there isn't any street view because it's like this ugly suburb, and there's no sort of touristy areas, you know. And so this is me sort of arriving at the building, and the building is really scary. It's my mom really that was scary. And so I would go, before going into this mall, and buy some weed. You can see it very poorly there. And then
Not all bad.
Can you see that? There's like guys sitting there on a bench, and that's me later on in the evening, relaxing a little bit. And it made it easier to visit. So that's the story. Thanks.
Yeah, that helps definitely.
Nice.
Sorry, you see it so poorly. It's pencil, but yeah, I can't. There. You can see it a little bit. Yeah. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I think this is Susanna. It says Zoom user, but I think I recognize Susanna there.
Yeah,
There we go.
hi. I don't know. That's weird that it doesn't say my name. I need to go and fix that, I guess. But I've only colored in a couple of these, and I went to my this is the shtetl where my bubby is from, and it's on the border. It's like Russia, Ukraine, and Lithuania. And so I tried to sort of do these. I realized like the borders kind of looked like train tracks, and they move them around with boxcars. So that kind of works. And these are all the different spellings of Osrayon. And one of them is I don't know if you'd say Cyrillic one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, so this is just kind of how I went through with Wikipedia. I need to outline this, but it's a village in the Ukraine, and I got the latitude and the longitude, and then I found an old map from the 1800s, which kind of documented the early pogroms, and then the Jewish population before the Holocaust, which was 1,302. And then I haven't had a chance to finish this, but this is a photo I found of an old Jewish cemetery, and this is one of the huts, and this is all kind of overgrown with weeds, and people were talking about clouds, so I have some clouds and bright blue sky. And my bubby's documentation actually includes early descriptions of these skies. I'm in the process of trying to get these audio interviews my brother and I did with her when we were kids digitized and edited, so that we can tell some of the stories that she told us about her childhood memories. And it just says site of the old Jewish cemetery in Osrayon. And then here I was going to try to put some things from the Yeast Core book, which means the Book of the Dead, which is what documents what happened to Bubby's brothers in the 1940s. And it's kind of astonishing how much one can find online, because none of these things that it was published by Bad Yashem in Jerusalem. And I recently went through to find some things, but they really give a deep history of the town, and all we really knew when growing up and at the time my brother and I interviewed her were Bubby's point of view. And it was
Right.
just
It's interesting to combine that, the primary source you have of the audio, and then you could flesh that out with the imagery. Have you been? Are you gonna go?
No, my mom went there, and she went there in the 90s, and she went with a guide, and she looked for the windmill because Bubby said her house was near a windmill. And so she was trying to kind of retrace it. And there's even this bizarre part of the story about how when they were first, like, they were evacuated a bunch of times in boxcars. It wasn't always like it wasn't always they weren't always like taking them to Auschwitz. That happened in the end, but in World War I, they were just moving them around because there were all of these they were right on the front lines. So there are stories about things that they hid in trunks, like beneath trees. I think Bubby always wanted me to go back and try to find the green trunk under the big tree by the windmill. Yeah, but I mean, it kind of makes great material for a story, even if it's probably not actually findable. There aren't many traces of this. And actually, with an earlier SAW workshop, maybe a couple of years ago, I also wrote about my great grandfather who wrote with his fingers and toes, and he did all the town. He was one of the few literate people there. So a lot of the town records are apparently his toe writing.
Wow. Wow.
I hope to do, more with it one day, but it's all very distant. And I've never been there. I guess I could go. It sounds stressful.
Susanna, Judith in the chat and some other people are asking for some more info, so maybe you can connect with them in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
And we'll go to Brianna next, and then Mishka will close out with Christian, if that's okay. Thanks, Susanna.
Oh,
Oh,
hello, everybody.
There we go.
There we go. Hi, everybody. So my name is Bree. Everyone drew so fast, but basically, let me reverse because I couldn't get it to screen share. There we go. So I have my iPad with me, and I did my comic has like a dorm campus type setting. And so I went on a tour to Bridgewater University once. And so I went on the Google Maps and found this picture. And I managed to replicate it here. My comic is something like this part of my comic. Like, I'm so happy you guys went over perspective today, because that kind of sketch I'm going to define and then put it in here and replace this, because this was kind of a building I just improvised, and because of that I like procrastinated a lot on it because I just wasn't sure about that perspective. But I'm going to combine what you initially saw and that setting in order to create a more believable environment.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I get from this. And it winds up being easier. You think like, oh my God, this building has so many angles on it. And to me, it's easier to have that structure of something to jump off, like a jumping off point, and not having to make something up.
Indeed. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Brianna. And we'll go to Mishka.
Hi. Oh
Hi.
my gosh, it's so blurry. There we go. A little better. I cheated and I'm using your idea to work on my nonfiction comic. My son is obsessed with public transportation, and he made a spreadsheet for me with a bunch of geolocations of the stops we would need to take to get from Berkeley to the Mexico border with public buses and
Nice.
commuter trains. So here's us getting off of a Pleasanton BART, which I've never been to that station.
I don't think I've been to that one either.
Google Street View. Here's, I'm not even sure which ACE train this is, but us kind of trying to catch up with the commuters maybe. It would be really hot. He found a way to go through the Central Valley that involved going through Manteca and Modesto. And here's a bus station in Modesto. Street View again.
Okay.
It's nice because they captured someone with like, who's clearly hauling around their stuff, and another person with a wheelchair, which is an essential service that public transit provides. The only way to get through the Central Valley is by taking a public transit bus to Yosemite from Merced back down to Fresno. And then undrawn are all of these stops.
Wow. I want to maybe do that one day. I'm a big transit enthusiast also, and I knew that it was possible to do that, but I haven't actually like sat down to know it, and now I do.
I'll try to get you. We found 2 maps this week, one that showed the interconnected bus systems of the whole state, but he did this by hand before we found that, and then another one showing all the rail lines.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Really awesome, Mishka. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have Christian, and then Ada is here also. Let's see if Christian's there.
Hello?
Yeah. Are you there?
Okay. Let's see how I can do this. So I actually switched to my phone because I saw that my computer was running a little slowly when I was using Zoom, or it was probably because I had too many tabs open. So let me just, okay, you can see me. All right. This is the comic I am currently working on. Can you see that well?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually chose a place in Germany as well, and I wasn't really thinking about the day in a lifestyle thing. I was just thinking about like a story sequence, like for a future project I would like to work on. And see, this girl, I don't know if you can see that well. Is there a way I can like, yeah, so here's the building I drew again. I don't know if you can see that well.
Yeah, I see.
And it's actually, you see these lines right there, I didn't even know if you can tell the building is on fire.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what's happening?
And yeah, so it's actually based on an actual explosion that happened during the Holocaust, I believe, or before the Holocaust. And I'm just thinking about a girl escaping from like a building type of situation. And like war is going on, and there's someone trying to find shelter, and you can see that she is injured, I believe. Can you see her?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Christian.
You're welcome.
All
Thank
right.
you.
We'll go to Ada next. Hi, Ada.
Hi.
Hi. So my comic is actually actually about coffee too. It is
Oh,
from
really?
Canada and is from Canada. I'll blur my background. Okay, wait. So anyways,
Oh, it's still blurred, Ada.
it's so blurred. So
I don't know how that changes.
It's under video settings, which is usually under your video or something like that. It's a little, yeah, Aaron says it's a little up character by your video.
Like, how do I unblur it?
Do you have if you click next to where it says video, if you click a little arrow there, it says video settings. Can you find that?
I think I can't find it.
Everybody says bottom left corner. If you want it, well,
Bottom left. I don't see it either on mine. But yeah, maybe I don't have that.
Cheryl recommends
so-
maybe keeping it close to your face. If you keep it like here, we can be able to see it perhaps. Or maybe, I don't know.
Anyways,
Oh, that looks, we can see that.
anyways, so it's me and Lori again.
Oh.
Oops.
Pull it
Again,
back.
Lori.
It's under where it says stop video in the. Oh, I see that. Yeah, on the bottom left
Oh,
next
yes,
to
yes.
me. Yeah.
Okay,
Hey.
so anyways, this is actually a coffee shop
Mhm.
in Canada. And pretend it's real.
Okay, I would never know. Where in Canada?
So, okay, let's go to get some coffee. Okay. Well, I am caffeine sensitive. Don't worry. You're getting the caff. We gotta hurry. 5 minutes later. We're here. Okay, so then. Wow, it's good. Yeah. 5 minutes later. We are done.
Can you hold it up, Ada?
And then this, pretend it's real. This
Mhm.
is the coffee
Starbucks and
shop that I
Ontario.
drew.
Very good.
Really?
What happens after they drink all the coffee?
Oh, they just go and they just go and go home.
Okay, nothing bad happens.
Yeah, nothing bad happens.
They're able to fall asleep at night.
Because they drink all this coffee. They drink too much coffee. They are not falling asleep for the whole day.
Up all night.
Awesome, Ada. Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Alabaster, usually we check in with Jamie as our last person. I don't know if Jamie did anything because she came on late, but let's see if she's there.
No, there's nothing there, Tom. I'm a big black hole tonight. So let
Okay.
it go to the end. She was amazing. And
Yeah.
I'll be coming on strong next week and I'll do the replay, okay?
Awesome. Sounds great. Thank you, Ada. Thank you, Jamie. All right, I'll spotlight Alabaster again. Alabaster, this was so much fun. Holy
Yeah,
cow.
thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, we did a
Really-
little world tour. Yeah.
We got so many, we got so many like family stories, and so many like backgrounds and things people were curious about for sure, but a lot of like I went to this place, I don't know, it went a little deeper than I expected. It was really nice.
Yeah, well, you might need reference like this if you've never been somewhere, or even if you've been sometimes I will pull up reference for the subway station by my house, which I'm at all the time, but I just don't want to go over there and look. So I look it up for myself. So yeah, the technique like this could come in handy for something you know well, something you've never been to. Yeah, you could flesh it out with your own reference, with historic reference, old photos.
And apartment hunting, I'm gonna definitely do a little more of that.
Yeah, that one makes me feel envious of other places.
All right, awesome. Well, everybody, let's unmute really fast and just give Alabaster a big thank you. I think you can all unmute yourselves. Let's see. Can we? Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah, all right, there we go.
Everyone.
Alabaster, thank you so much. Everybody join us next Friday, et cetera, and have a great week. Maybe they're not muting each other. I don't. Anyway.
Thank you, everybody.
Alabaster, thanks so much. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I thought they could unmute themselves. Oh no.